everyone, welcome to this week's episode. A couple of months ago we announced Ruby Rose 2, which is a Seawind 1370, and if you haven't already watched the episode, I think this episode will make a lot more sense. So click the link up above to watch the episode first and then come back here.
Yep, so we have had hundreds, probably actually thousands of emails, messages, WhatsApp messages, Facebook messages, Instagram messages asking us so many different things about Ruby Rose 2. So what we've done is we've collated the top 5 questions from our Facebook friends, our patrons, and today our patrons are asking those questions for you. So enjoy this one. Question number 1 comes from Peter and Rhiannon, and they want to know...
Hi Nick and Teresa, I'm Peter.
And I'm Rhiannon, and we were wondering if you could talk about the visibility from your helm.
And why twin helms and not something like a Versa helm?
So yes, the 1370 and its helm position. There are obviously lots of options with new catamarans coming onto the market, the Versa helm or the twin helm of the 1370, and they want to know specifically about visibility. A lot of people are asking, what's the visibility like from that helm position? So let's get that answered.
And so here we find ourselves at the portside helm of the Seawind 1370. The windows in front of the helm stations both lower electrically, so there is no double glare at night. As you can see from these accurate CAD renders, there is full 360-degree visibility from both helm stations. This, with the addition of twin throttles, mean that if you are trying to dock on port or on starboard, fore or aft, you are not going to struggle to see the 4 corners of the boat. Not forgetting the reinforced glass window above the helm to enable you to check on your sails. Overall, this pretty simple, robust design is something that we prefer.
Question number 2 comes from Claudia and Sydney, and they would like to know about storage options in the 1370.
How much storage is available for a liveaboard?
Hi, my name is Claudia from Birmingham, Michigan. How much storage are you going to have?
As so many people are asking about storage on the 1370, Seawind have actually produced a render showing the different storage areas in different areas of the boat. Let's start with the cockpit of the 1370. This is an area we use so much on a day-to-day basis. In these renders, the blue areas show storage. So we have storage underneath the helm seats, there is storage in the saloon underneath the modular furniture. The yellow area here is refrigeration area, so this is where one of the fridges goes. And as you can see, inside the galley there are storage areas galore, but we'll get to that in a bit. There is an option to add a second freezer to the cockpit, and not forget the underside of the hardtop here. Aside from the trifold door, there is also going to be storage for paddleboards, fishing rods and the like. At the stern of Ruby Rose 2 there are going to be additional lockers so that we can keep dive cylinders. All in all, we have a lot of storage for our outdoor gear. Now let's take a look at the storage facilities for both the saloon and the galley in Ruby Rose 2. These accurate computer designed renders of the saloon and the galley of the 1370 show exactly what storage you can expect to find. The pink area marked here is for the fridge, and there are options for 2 fridges or a fridge and a freezer to be in the 1370. This means that we've got enough cold storage to freeze things to take on long passages. We've also got ample storage for everything we're going to need in the galley. Moving on to the master cabin in the owner's hull. As you can see from the blue areas, there is a full set of drawers underneath the island bed. There is storage either side of the bed, as well as multiple storage options. Interestingly, with the 1370, the options for bespoke cabinetry have been removed. This means that you can't swap out, say, the vanity unit for increased pantry space, but that does mean that hulls after number 10 should be delivered sooner than actually scheduled. Looking forward in the master cabin, you can also see that within the walk-in wardrobe, yes, a walk-in wardrobe, there is additional space underneath that bench, so a lot of liveaboard storage there. As we move aft and look at the master hull from a different viewpoint, you can see that there is ample pantry space here. This is going to be mirrored in the starboard hull, where without the large vanity unit there will be double the amount of pantry space there. So us moving from a 38-foot monohull into a 45-foot multi-hull means that we get a lot of space. But I genuinely believe that if you are moving from an apartment into this boat, you are going to have more than enough. Now let's take a look at the forward storage in Ruby Rose 2. As you know, the 1370 is going to have the option for a workshop, so our tools and everything will be kept in the starboard side forepeak. The port side will be a large sail locker, and the 3 small lockers next to the trampoline. If you don't have a gen set there, that frees up yet more space, so you can put your fenders, lines and other bits in there. All in all, for deck gear, this is going to be pretty expansive. So what do you think? Does Ruby Rose 2 have enough space? Let us know in the comments.
Question number 3. Now this comes from our patrons in Holland, Rob and Yoka. Hello to both of you, and they want to know...
Hi guys, we have a question for Ruby Rose 2. What size engines are you going to have and how much solar?
So yes, specifically the engines we're going to use on the 1370. We've already said that we're using diesel, but exactly what size, the way of controlling them, and also the solar, how we're going to put energy back into the boat when we're at anchor and sailing along.
Now the Seawind 1370 comes with 40 horsepower Yanmar engines as standard, but after discussion with Navila they recommended moving up to the 57 4JK 57 Yanmar engines. Now for us this means a huge amount of power. There is very little additional weight or size with these 57s over the 40s. So aside from being able to attain near to hull speed with just one engine running, it means that one hull is going to be completely silent if we're motor sailing. Couple these with very forward propellers for when we're under sail, and we have got a pretty amazing power plant in this boat. We've already touched on the benefits of twin throttles on Ruby Rose 2 when it comes to docking. But just to further expand on this, we are going to use the VC10 digital control system. These are super sexy throttles, and it means that we can control the throttle while motor sailing or docking from both port and starboard helms. So safety, security and comfort on long passages are the key here. If you watched our previous Ruby Rose 2 video, you know that we're going with the Mastervolt Alpha Series alternators. With just an hour of motor sailing, we are going to have a huge amount of regeneration capability for that Mastervolt lithium battery bank, so we're super pleased there. We've also upgraded the solar on Ruby Rose 2. That huge bimini top means that we can fit 1930 watts of solar. So whether we're at anchor for long periods of time or whether we're sailing across oceans, we know that the systems on Ruby Rose 2 are going to be amply charged even on overcast days. So between the alternators, the solar and those big engines, we have done the calculations and we know that we've got enough power on board.
The next question is from Lou, and he would like to know...
Hey guys, this is Captain Lou from Motor Yacht Lady Sinn Fe, and I'd like to know what kind of electronics and navigation equipment are you going to fit on Ruby Rose 2?
So what electronics are we going to use and what navigation equipment are we going to use? A lot of you have been asking about this. Let's get that question answered.
Now if you watched our 19 Catamaran reviews, you will know that one thing we definitely want is a full-size forward-facing nav station, and we're going to use B&G instrumentation to allow us to navigate across oceans. So we're going to start with a 12-inch plotter at the helm. This is going to be linked to radar, to AIS, to the VHF, to a forward-facing sonar. We're also at the chart table going to have a VHF command mic as well as full autopilot remote. Our nav station will also have access to CSUN's digital panel. Now this is backed up with a full set of mechanical switching, but using the digital panel we can monitor and change every aspect of the boat's electronics. So from this position we have 360 degrees of view as well as full control of every aspect of the boat. The helm will mirror the nav station, so a second 12-inch B&G plotter with the radar, the AIS overlay, as well as the ability to use that forward-facing sonar. We're going to have a separate set of instruments as well as another VHF command mic and a second autopilot remote control. One thing that we haven't mentioned is that we are going to have cameras on the mast and in the cockpit for security and to aid navigation, and also to show you what we're doing.
Question number 5. This comes from our patron William, and he wants to know...
Hi Teresa and Nick, greetings from San Francisco Bay Area. My name is William and my question is, what sail plan is Ruby Rose 2 What sail materials have you chosen and what spare sails we have on board? Thank you.
So yeah, all about the sails and the sail plan for Ruby Rose 2. This boat is going to be fast, and we want the sails to make sure that we've got the drive to get us across oceans a lot faster than Ruby Rose 1 did. So let's get on with that one.
Now, it's no secret that Ruby Rose 2 is a performance catamaran, and so the mainsail and jib for this boat need to reflect what we want from performance. The mainsail is huge, 1,080 square foot, that is 85 square meters. That is a huge square topped main. 17.8 meters of luff, a huge leech and a large foot means that we've got a big sail area. To get the best out of Ruby Rose 2, we are going with Doyle Sails GPL Light Skin. This material is fantastic. It is from Dimension Polyant, and its characteristics will mean that we've got a lightweight, abrasion resistant material which is ultra low stretched with massive amounts of UV protection. For us as long-term cruisers, this is exactly what we need without giving up performance. For ease of handling, the foresail on Ruby Rose is going to be a self-tacking jib. At 400 square foot, 37 square meters, she's still going to give a lot of performance, and we've chosen GPL Light Skin for that as well. But moving on to our coloured sails, these are our downwind, offwind and light wind sails. Let's first talk about the Code Zero. On the original Ruby Rose, we used this sail a lot. It was a fantastic addition to our sail wardrobe. Knowing how pivotal the Code Zero is to our sailing, we have got a 71 metre square, that's 764 square foot Code Zero. We wanted a laminate that is going to be very, very low stretch, and with the new systems of cableless furlers, you can squeeze every inch of performance out of these new sails. Material wise, we have gone with Technora. Now this is a warp oriented laminate. It's pretty high tech, and its carbon fibres mean that we've got increased abrasion durability, massive amounts of UV protection and very, very low stretch. These sails are put under huge amounts of load, and we know that we need to get across oceans when the wind is light, and this is going to do just the job. Off the wind, we have got a huge asymmetric. This is going to be 156 square meters. That's over 1,700 square foot. We are going with Supercoat racing laminate with a top-down furler. So for ease of use, ease of handling, and that massive sail area, downwind sailing should be a lot of fun. So we're pretty excited about jibing across the rum line as we sail downwind. We are hoping to get some sweet speeds out Ruby Rose 2.
So I hope you enjoyed that video. We have got so much more information about Ruby Rose 2 and the build coming to you. As you know, Ruby Rose 2 is going to be launched next year, and she's going to be built, well, the build is going to start early in 2021, so we will be filming the build from the minute she comes out of the molds through the whole process until she's in the water, and then after that, of course, we'll be sailing her. So if you are interested in watching a catamaran being built in probably, I don't think the detail like this has been examined on YouTube yet, so literally from cradle to cradle as she gets launched.
Literally cradle.
So listen, feel free to subscribe. There's a button down there so that you can subscribe to the channel. If you want to not miss notifications, there's a little bell which YouTube occasionally turn off for you, so click that, and we'll be back real soon with more Ruby Rose 2 news. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.
Bye.
So join us again for our next Ruby Rose 2 video. There's so much we want to talk through with you. How we've integrated red night lights so that we can navigate at night and have a pretty safe cockpit and saloon area. We also want to discuss with you this innovative rain catchment system that filters the water and maximises the amount of rainwater we can collect in our water tanks, invaluable for liveaboards. So make sure you're subscribed, and we really do look forward to seeing you again real soon with more Ruby Rose 2 news. Goodbye.